Generally in life, I feel like I have a deep voice, and then Rich Dalton shows up. And every time he shows up, I feel like I don't have a deep voice.
You don't have a deep voice today.
No, I don't.
Hi, Rich.
Hi. Nice to see you guys again. Ron.
Are you thinking about your voice?
I made him think about it.
I just talk and it comes out.
Yeah. Did you always have a deep voice, or do you think it just got
born
deeper?
with it, right?
Yeah, through radio.
Well, it was always that way because the great thing about radio when we started was we didn't have to talk like this.
That's right. Well, you know what happened to us, if I can just
Sure,
tell
go
my
ahead.
story.
It's
We were on the air in New York, and we were hired. They hadn't heard us really live on their station, and everybody was all excited about our first day, and everybody's there, and we turned the microphone on and started to talk, and the program director ran in and flipped the microphone off and said, "Hey, you guys were on the air."
And we said,
yeah, we were on the air.
He goes, but you were talking. We go, exactly.
He thought we were going to go,
We
hey,
weren't talking like that.
We weren't talking like that. And because we were doing that, he thought we were just talking amongst ourselves.
Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, all hell broke loose on the internet here in St. Louis when Rich Dalton was fired from KSHE.
Yes, and you're still alive. I see you're eating well. And
yes. In fact, many people may recall that I got out of commercial radio in 1995 and went 7 years without seeking a job.
And you were pretty much done then, right?
I thought at the time
yeah.
that I was done with it. What was going on at that time was all the buying and selling of radio stations, and it was pretty crazy. And I just thought, well, my time is done. And Casey called me back around Easter of 2002. And then I went 13 years, and around Easter of 2015, they uncalled me back.
Now, when Rich first started back, when he came back in 2002, they had just started KSHE 2, the HD channel, right?
No, that didn't start until 2006.
2006. And you went full-time there in fall of 2012?
When they called me back, I was just doing part-time. I had a business. I was narrating things. I had a studio in my house, and I just thought, I can do weekends. I was doing the seventh day. But very quickly, K-Hits, they were going, and I think I was only there a matter of a few months. And 2002, when I went full-time on K-Hits. And so
doing the midday show or the afternoon show.
What are you saying? You're going to be on tomorrow?
No, this is cool. He's been working on this for a couple of weeks, and actually, Rich and I have been talking a little bit longer than that. But he's going to be doing a podcast for Honest TL for us.
A number of things, and you got an interview, and you need somebody to interview. You got a rock and roll star that wanders in.
Yeah, he's now Honest TL member.
Wonderful.
Which is great, and that's very exciting.
Do I
That's
get a
what we were
badge?
initially working. He'll also be doing some.
You get a hat.
He'll also be doing voicing for StLouisClassicRock.com.
Okay.
And his own show there, which is really great.
Okay.
Because StLouisClassicRock.com is everything that Rich is about.
Yes, definitely.
Also rock and roll news. It'd be a daily update of what's going on in classic rock and stuff like that. Like Phil Rudd, the AC/DC drummer, pleaded guilty today.
And this is where the DJ says, but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
Tell us what else you have.
Well, I'm going to be most of the time on a site. It's called ourmusicalroots.com. And it's another St. Louis site. Al Hofer is there, and some people will remember Michelle Holiday. And I'm going to be there. And they have two different streams at the moment. They're both classic rock. One rock's a little harder than the others. Very shortly, we'll get a third stream going, and it'll basically replicate what I was doing with KSHE 2. And I'll also be doing a show on one of their other streams. And so I'll be available, and I'll be on, I'm not sure. We haven't established what time exactly, but I'll be on during the day, and people will be Radio Rich will be available once again, and this time on the internet.
And this is the internet. And how do you know where we find you? Do you just...
Yeah, well, it's ourmusicalroots.com.
That's what you put in?
There, and StLouisClassicRock.com, and on STL.com.
What are the podcasts you're doing for On STL?
That's what we're going to talk about now.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is cool because this is a side of Rich most people don't get to know unless you get to know Rich.
They're called Radio Enrichment. They're going to run about 2 or 3 minutes. And the basic idea is we live in a world where there's people are flying airplanes into buildings, into mountains, and there's so much change going on, and that people need some way to feel a little better. And what I endeavor to do is not start some big movement or write a book or have a DVD or anything like that. Extremely simple things to do, which are all pleasant to do, which will make you feel better, which things largely people sort of know, but that just kind of need a reminder. Like, for instance, the amazing value of music. Get lost in a tune. 3.5 minutes, if you're lost in some really great piece of music, you're not worrying about this or that. And other things like you may want to watch a little less news, particularly on the TV. You don't have to watch everything that's served up.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Rich, nobody says on the TV anymore. You have to,
Well, I just did. Let's get it back into the lexicon.
Well, there's
TV.
something to that, because I went to the art museum for the first time in a long time a couple of weeks ago, and just being in the presence of art that somebody spent a lot of their time putting together, you kind of absorb all of that feeling, and you feel so nice when you go out just by being around that. Music does the same.
Yes, we have all kinds of help, and people sort of basically know it, but they just get caught up and they don't think to do it. And like I said, the simplest things, get lost in a piece of music, go outside and play. Stuff like that. And that's what Radio Enrichment is and will be about.
Well, Rich, we are honored to have you as a part of Honest TL, and we look forward to everything that you'll be doing with us and with stlouisclassicrock.com.
I'll have to acknowledge the astonishing amount of help and support that's come from everybody. Rick Cheney, who started the Bring Back Radio Rich fan page, John Sebin from St. Louis Classic Rock, you guys, and a lot of other people. And without even me having to ask, they did a lot of stuff. They went to a lot of trouble in it, and I very much appreciate it. And it looks like it's paying off. Like, I'll be back tomorrow, ourmusicalroots.com, and it's the start of something very cool and very big, and people will be able, not only in St. Louis, but, perhaps in the rest of the world, be able to get St. Louis music and, maybe get a piece of Radio Enrichment from Radio Rich, and then we all live happily ever after.
That's the nice thing. That is so nice.
Living happily ever after.
Yes.
That's what it is. Thank you,
Very
Rich.
Thank you, guys.
Comforting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. And thanks to Obusi Michele Insurance, continuously working to provide the individual coverage you require. They also handle commercial life and health insurance. And our segment today is made possible through Obusi Michele Insurance. Contact Tina Michele at 314-832-6667.